On this episode of Delivering Marketing Joy, we talk with Mark Powell, the author of the new book, Clutch, on why habits are jackasses. Hey there, and welcome to a brand new edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. I am your host, Kirby Hassman, and joining me today, I'm so excited, Dr. Mark Powell. He's the author of the new book, Clutch, which I literally cannot wait to read. I've checked it out all online. I've read all about it. And so, Mark, thanks so much for joining me today.
Oh, great to be with you, Kirby.
I appreciate it. So I want to jump right into a few of these questions because, like I said, I literally scoured your website looking about what the book is about. So, in your new book, Clutch, which is coming out by the time this comes out very, very soon, you talk about the power of rituals and how they can have a huge impact on your life. Why do rituals have so much power?
Yeah, good question. You know, we have long known that great Clutch athletes, the very best of the best, had these personal rituals that they did on game day or right before a hitter goes up to bat or that sort of thing. But often those rituals have been called superstitious rituals, right, as if they just sort of have this placebo effect or something like that, and they work only because, you know, LeBron James thinks that ritual works, something like that. Right. But a lot of study has been done. Harvard Business School has done a bunch of it on rituals and how powerful they are and how they enhance self-confidence and skill and focus and so forth. And one of the things they've discovered is that superstition and belief has nothing to do with the effectiveness of the ritual. They did this test thing, you know, where they had these two groups of people perform this same ritual, then see what the result and impact would be. And one group absolutely believed that this was not going to work and wasn't going to help them. And the other group kind of believed it would. And they discovered that it was equally effective, whether you believed in the ritual or not. That rituals have power, and it has nothing to do with superstition. So that sort of caused us to say, well, where does this come from? So here's the deal. A ritual, properly understood, has two components in it. And that's what a lot of people miss. There's always a physical component and a psychological component to a ritual. I say it's this way sometimes: something you move and something that moves you. Something that inspires you or lifts you. And so in my book, Clutch, I present this algorithm where I explain that a personal ritual is a positive routine plus a ceremony. They are sort of braided together. So the routine is left brain, and it is practical and purposeful. Decide to do, you know, these three things starting at this time to reach some particular goal. And so it kind of falls under the category of advanced decision making. So you decide that you're going to do this. The surgeon, kind of goes into surgery to prepare himself, to get himself in the zone or the state of flow to be at his best. He's going to do these things in this series, in this sequence. And so from the routine itself, he doesn't have to go into surgery thinking about what he's going to do to prepare. He's already decided that. So William James, the great American psychologist, talked about the decision fatigue, or the misery of small decisions. He said that these little decisions that we make use our brain power and really keep us from being able to be our most creative self. So if you have a routine and it's, becomes highly automated behavior, Kirby, you have extra brain power available for your task. It also, as it becomes highly automated, it doesn't drain your bucket of willpower for the day, and also becomes something that is very familiar to you. You do it every day in the same way, and so it makes you more comfortable, lowers your anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Then when you marry it with some kind of little personal ceremony, something that has symbolic value to you, now it kind of lifts your spirits. And so you put all that together, and that's why our personal rituals, end up being very, very powerful to us.
Yeah, I will tell you that is so interesting to me because, and just before we started recording, I talked to you. I am a huge believer in the power of routines, and it's exactly what you just talked about: is decision fatigue. It is not taxing the willpower.
Yeah.
But I've also seen you talk about the difference between habits and rituals. So that was an eye opener for me. So can you tell me the difference between those two and why it matters?
Yeah. So habits clearly have been the darling of the self-improvement industry. If you want to write a bestseller, put the word habit in the title, because we've all attempted to say, I need some better habits for the new year or something like that.
Yep.
And yet, if your experience, Kirby, is like mine, habits are really stubborn things. I say in class that habits are jackasses. Hard to train, hard to create, hard to shave. They are very uncooperative. I've tried to change habits in the past. I heard when I was young that it takes 9 weeks to change a habit. And I thought, well, if it's an important habit, then that it's worth 9 weeks of effort. But I get to the end of the 9 weeks and I've made no progress with this at all. Try to change eating habits, which sounds like a really good thing, but they find that doesn't work very well either. So rituals, on the other hand, are like German shepherds. I don't know if you ever had a shepherd before or had a friend who had, but they are quick, they are easy to train, they're smart, and they are willing to work on your behalf. And rituals really are like that. They become very effective very quickly because a ritual involves both this practical, purposeful, physical side and this emotional, inspirational side. They take a hold of us kind of completely, body, mind, and spirit, very quickly. There was a study that came out in June of this year where the top behavioral science researchers out of Harvard Business School, University of Chicago, University of Minnesota, Cal Berkeley, Haas School of Business, and a bunch of others kind of came together for this research on rituals and how it affects our eating and our diet. And they found out that if people used the power of ritual to sort of approach how they eat, that people started eating 10 to 20% fewer calories in just 5 days of effort. So you start on Monday, and by Friday, without really making any effort to change your eating program at all, without going on a diet per se, the ritual just allows you to sort of take control, and it works really, really quickly. So the speed at which you can change your life with a ritual is much, much greater than the speed at which you can change a habit.
Well, that to me, that was super interesting. And so we're getting ready for two big things, right? The first is that your book's about to come out, and everybody should run out and check out Clutch. But the second thing, and I want to get sort of tactical about it, right? Like the second thing is the New Year's upon us. It's almost time for the calendar to change. So what are some tips that you can give us to get the new year started off right?
I think that as you approach the new year and you think about making New Year's resolutions, it is way more powerful to come up with a couple of New Year's rituals instead. I say that a resolution is something that all year long you have to keep, but a ritual actually keeps you. When you build the ritual, then the ritual builds your life. And so a couple rituals that should be priorities to at least think about is one, and I agree with a lot of people who say win the morning, win the day. Tony Robbins says the most important ritual you could have is a morning ritual, and it's should not be seen as an obligation or a burden. It's a gift to yourself. Now I know that mornings are one of those things that vary dramatically from one person to another. I mean, somebody could say, I get up really, really early. And you say, what time do you get up? They say 8:30. And somebody else says, I get to sleep until 5:30 every morning these days. It's really great. So we can't even agree when morning starts, let alone what a busy morning looks like. And if you're 75 years of age and tired, your idea of a morning is different than if you're a young mother with 3 kids under the age of 5. But regardless, a morning ritual that is kind of a gift to yourself that maybe even happens while you're driving your car, in the rush hour, but still happens, that gives you some time to think and some time to celebrate and some time to order your day and order your life. Some kind of morning ritual that has some symbolic uplift to you and some practical purpose. I often say that in the morning, many of us are given what I call 100 minutes of genius. So our ability to think most creatively kind of happens in a narrow window in the morning. We don't want to waste that opportunity. So morning ritual can be a great gift to yourself for the new year. And then the other ritual that will absolutely 100% of the time lead your listeners to a happier year is to create some sort of gratitude ritual. Some kind of thing where you create this ritual every day. Maybe it's at the end of the day when you have a glass of wine and you sit down and you work your way in some way through the little small things that happen that day that you're thankful for. Yeah, that will lead to happiness for the new year faster than anything else I know about.
I will tell you, I could not agree with you more on that. That is something, I always say that, what you tell your subconscious brain to look for, it will find. And if you are constantly looking for things to be thankful for, it's amazing how a lot of good things show up in your life.
They say that you don't even have to come up with anything to be thankful for. If you simply attempt to come up with something, your happiness goes up.
Yeah, no, that's so amazing. So, wow. This is awesome, Mark. Thank you so much. You've answered my 3 questions. I give everybody a chance to ask me one question. Do you have one for me?
Yeah. I'll ask you the question that I ask so many people, which is, Kirby, do you have some kind of morning ritual that you do that you kind of gives you a reason to get up in the morning and you kind of look forward to? Yeah. And here's the where you get bonus points.
Okay.
Is anything about it that's a little bit just kind of your signature thing? It's true that maybe it's a little quirky, a little different.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to anybody else, but you do it for a reason and you know what that reason is.
Yeah. So I love this question. So first things first is, like a lot of entrepreneurs, like a lot of parents, like a lot of whatever, a lot of times what wakes me up in the morning, I'm kind of an early morning person. I'm up before the alarm, 5. The first number is usually 5 on my clock, right? But part of the reason sometimes is I'm stressed. I'm thinking about things that happened. I'm starting things. And when I find that, my big exercise is exactly what you said. I take a deep breath and I do sort of a gratitude challenge. I start thinking about the things in my life I'm excited about, and it recalibrates my day.
Yeah.
Number 2, I work out every morning, and it started out as simple as I just want to get my brain going. So I spend 20 minutes on my treadmill, just like most of the times, usually just walking. And it just gets me going. And then the quirky one is, the third thing is, I eat breakfast at our local hospital, Coshocton Hospital, every morning. I drive in, and it's so funny, like to the point, and you talk about routine, I don't order. Like I'm there every day. So as soon as I walk in, the gals behind know what I'm getting. They scoop it up. It costs the same amount every single day, which by the way is $1.86. So it is a routine that I do every single day that starts me off.
Yeah, I think you have a ritual there. That is very powerful.
Well,
Yeah, really great story.
thank you so much for doing this. Great luck with the book. I'm going to run out. It comes out the first of the year, right?
Great one.
Awesome. Awesome. So everybody run out, grab that. We will definitely have to do this again sometime, okay?
Yeah, great. Loved it.
Cool. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. We'll see you next time.